Caleb Wilfinger alongside my colleague Evan Patrick back at Beaver Stadium for one final time this season as Penn State closed out its 2019 regular season on Senior Day with a 27-6 victory over Rutgers in a game that wasn't exactly pretty, but the Nittany Lions still got it done and got their 10th win of the season. And now we're staring at a potential New Year's Six bowl game for what would be the third time in the last 4 years under James Franklin. Pretty impressive stuff for a team that had a lot of questions at the start of the season. Getting that out of the way, it was still a struggle for a lot of this game. Penn State did not throw the ball very well. Will Levis only had 8 completions in this one. Not very effective through the air, also had an interception. Did have one long touchdown to Jahan Dotson, but struggled in this one mightily, and the reason for that is because Sean Clifford did not play in this game. He could have, according to Coach James Franklin after the game, but after the injury sustained against Ohio State last week, precautionary measure, Penn State should beat Rutgers, really regardless of who was playing at quarterback, just in terms of the talent disparity. But what the Nittany Lions did succeed at today was running the ball.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that there were a lot of questions going into the season with the team, and one of the questions that was kind of throughout the entire year at this team is who's that number one running back, who's going to be that guy. It's had been a running back by committee for most of the entire season, well, with Noah Cain not playing due to injury and Ricky Slade having his struggles kind of this season. Journey Brown totally emerged as the number one guy and really settled that debate tonight. Another great performance from him. He had over 100 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns in the game, and James Franklin said afterwards that Journey Brown is looking as confident as he's ever looked, and it's really translating. He's playing some of the best football of his career right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and that goes for Penn State's running game as a whole. Will Levis had over 100 yards on the ground today. The Nittany Lions just seem like they have an offensive identity right now, which you could argue they didn't have earlier in the season, even though they were winning games. The running game was not necessarily the focal point for this team, and after the game, the players that I spoke to, Steven Gonzalez, senior offensive lineman, talked about how he feels like they're very comfortable running the ball, and that's what they want to do at this stage of the season, is break down the defense by establishing the run, and that's what they're going to have to do if they play, a team like Oregon or Utah in a Rose Bowl or an Orange Bowl against a quality ACC opponent like a Virginia. So the possibilities are there for Penn State to finish the season 11-2, have another successful year, much like 2 seasons ago when they beat Washington in the Fiesta Bowl. And that's where you'll see us next, one of these bowl games. Make sure to follow us on collegian.psu.edu for continuing coverage, and on the website and on social media throughout the night, as we'll give you updates and reactions from Penn State's win over Rutgers.